this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back again with the bits that we have left over from the Perfect Pocket packs, and as you can see I've got tons of bits here you know, that we haven't used when we've been making our Perfect Pocket pieces. So what I thought we could do is, well, at first I was thinking let's come along and do a snippet roll, but actually I think we'll just make some clusters with these, to be honest. So I'm going to use kind of some of the background pieces as like the matte pieces for my clusters, and then we'll just layer up some bits and bobs. So I'm just going to literally start by tearing out just a bunch of the background matte type pieces. So that one. And what I'll do, I will just kind of lay them out on the desk, and and then we'll do them kind of all, you know, like in a sequence. So we're being a bit efficient about it. Well, we'll try and be a bit efficient. That's the plan now. Obviously, that may go out the window. Normally goes out the window pretty quick, let's be truthful. So yeah, we'll start kind of in this way, but I'm not necessarily saying we're going to continue in this way. So again, this, you know, is a kind of matte type piece for me. You know, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is a kind of piece that you would matte a cluster on. So I'm going to just lay them out here. I hope this is in frame. Again, this black one kind of, you know, has the appearance of a bit of a matte, really. So just do that. And it's fantastic because I love the fact that we can just tear all of these bits. No cutting required. This I may overlay as a kind of overlay for the matting. This one, again, you know, to me this feels like something I would matte a cluster on. So just tear that down like that. Okay. We've got this one. Oops. Like that. Yeah, I thought it would be just really fun to come and kind of make some different things with the leftover pieces, because, you know, I know that I did say, you know, previously, but they're very versatile pieces, and I think you can really get a lot of different projects from these. So, you know, I thought this would be something fun to do. I think I've got another one. Yeah, another one of these green ones. So, okay. Like that. Now, it might be that these are a little bit on the big side. We'll kind of have to wait and see, really, as we get, you know, get making some. Oh, this probably is also another potential matte piece. And, you know, we might shrink these down, as in tear them smaller yet. We'll kind of see how we get on. So let's have a look. So I've got some pieces that are already cut here, that we can kind of layer up with some of these. Oh my goodness, I mean, how gorgeous does that look on there? Just going to have a quick sip of my tea. Right, this piece I'm going to, I think, cut out, but let's just check out what we want as some of our topper pieces. So we've got this with the building. I absolutely love this. So I'll just cut this one out. I have got an oval punch, actually, which I wonder whether I could have just punched the oval out. I mean, it wouldn't have been the same size, but I wonder actually whether, like, I would have had enough, you know, of the frame to still look okay. I don't know. Don't know whether I would or not, but right. Oh my goodness. This is going to be one of those that looks good on everything, isn't it? Oh, quite like it on there, I think. So, right. I'm just layering up kind of potential pieces with potential backgrounds, if you see what I mean. You know, potential kind of like topper pieces. So I've got this one here with these ladies. So, you know, and some of these we might actually just have, what's the word? Torn down rather than cut down. We'll just kind of see. So again, going to just cut this, but potentially, you know, we may make him smaller by tearing him yet. So we'll just sort of see how they look when we place them onto some of the matte pieces for the layering. So, okay. Oh, this is where I find that actually he's not going to match with much. So we might have to kind of have a rethink of you know, what we're putting with what, to be honest. I didn't want to go with the predictable, i.e. like the blue with the blue, because I thought that was really boring. But to be honest, I might just end up that it's, you know, haven't got much choice. I mean, that's, yeah, that's quite nice on lots of pieces. So let me try him, maybe have him on that. Although I did especially love this. So yeah, I'm going to stick with my original plan, I think. Right, so these ladies, there would be quite a big, you know, topper piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this out, cutting that edge piece off. So I'm just going to cut around like the sort of rope effect piece, just to make that oval a little bit smaller. I mean, again, I might have been able to get away with putting my, or using my oval punch, I don't know. But we just cut that one down. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. Now, which piece does this look good on? Maybe on a green. Oh, that's quite nice actually on the green, isn't it? Unexpectedly so. Unexpectedly nice. Right, I've got this little piece here, which I love. So let's just take that. Oh, I could do with really putting my glasses on. So, and I did say last week, and then I obviously caused a bit of a kind of an upset really, because I'd said that I should have really fussy cut the pieces first. And the reason that I hadn't, well, a couple of reasons really. First of all, because I wanted to be able to point out which Perfect Pocket pieces were from which Perfect Pocket pack, if you see what I mean. And if I'd just fussy cut them all in the first place, I would not have had the foggiest clue what came from what. But also, I just really ran out of time. Now, this week, obviously, I've already now lost track of what's with, you know, from what kit. So I can't claim that to be my excuse, but I literally have just run out of time. So again, I'm kind of at that situation where I must apologise for the fact that I'm now cutting these, you know, on camera, because obviously, you know, I do appreciate that not everybody, you know, likes that or enjoys watching me cut, and, you know, they kind of wish that I had obviously cut first of all. But just sometimes, you know, what can I say? It's just not always possible to do that. So, you know, it is what it is. And I, you know, I do apologise for those people who are, you know, yeah, upset by the fact that I'm, you know, cutting on camera. It's just one of those things, I'm afraid. So, you know, and I know that lots of you lovely ladies, you really did, you know, make the most lovely comments in response to the person who obviously was not really enjoying watching me fussy cut. And, you know, like I say, you know, I appreciate that probably that person was bored, but they could have just, you know, fast forwarded through that part, you know, instead of kind of leaving the remark that they made. But at the end of the day, and I know that lots of you did say this in the comments, I mean, I upload a video every single day. So to be honest, you know, that's a tall order to then have time, you know, extra time for fussy cutting pieces prior to doing a video. There's not time. You know, what can I say? There is just not time. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like I say, I appreciate that person did not enjoy the process of watching me fussy cut, and, you know, I mean, I'm obviously sorry that offended that person, you know, and I don't want to kind of obviously start another kind of, you know, discussion kind of where like animosity is kind of there. But, you know, I just wanted to kind of say that actually, you know, realistically, if you're uploading a video every day, you know, anyone who actually does videos, you'll know, I mean, it takes a pretty long time to actually come up with ideas, to actually do the filming, you know, to kind of prepare, maybe print some things, you know, do whatever you need to do to actually come to the point of making a video. And then, you know, potentially make maybe, you know, 2 or 3 videos in one day, so that you can, you know, have a couple of days where you don't have to film, you know, maybe at the weekends to spend with the kids and things like that. It just, you know, you're running out of time. And, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, again, this is kind of like aimed really at people who have their channels, but, you know, I'm sure that you will agree, you know, and most of you who have a channel, you probably have an online shop as well. So then you're trying to run your shop, you're trying to keep your shop stocked, you know, you've probably got a family, you know. So then you're trying to look after the kids, you're trying to run a house, you're trying to, you know, cook the dinner and everything else, you know, do the washing, all of those things, do the weekly food shop. You know, there just unfortunately is not time then to actually be, you know, up there fussy cutting ahead. And, you know, like I say, I appreciate that that frustrates some people and, you know, probably was pretty boring to watch. But, you know, in fairness, I just think sometimes, you know, it's easy to kind of underestimate how long all these things take to do. And, you know, if I was uploading one video every couple of weeks or something like that, I would probably be able to be a lot more efficient and, you know, provide slicker, more, you know, well-organised videos. But that's just not how my channel's kind of evolved. My channel has become a, you know, upload every day channel, you know, and I know that, again, lots of you did say in the comments and, you know, mention to this person, you know, the thing is there's hundreds of videos to watch and, you know, there's no need to kind of make a negative comment. If you're not enjoying a video, you can just move on. I mean, I have to say that lady, and, you know, I hope you did stick with me. I hope you're still watching. So if you are, hi, you know, lovely that you decided to give me a bit more of a chance. But I have to say, YouTube has actually introduced a feature where you can see the other comments that that person has made on your channel, not necessarily on everybody's channel, but on your channel. And I was able to look back through and notice that that person had left actually 3 comments on my channel, and all 3, well, I couldn't see the third one actually, so I won't make stuff up. I couldn't see the third comment, but definitely the other comment that I could see, the other comment, that also was a negative comment. So yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, some people like to just leave negative comments, don't they? I mean, like I say, I can't see what comments that person leaves on other people's channels. Maybe they're very positive on other people's channels. You know, maybe it is just my channel that they find very infuriating. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And, you know, yeah, I mean, I hope that you did decide to stick with me. I completely understand if you didn't. Equally, you know, I don't know, you know, maybe kind of, I don't know, maybe kind of kindness is the way forward. You know, and probably now I'm saying too much and I should probably just be quiet, but I just sometimes think, you know, and I think we're all guilty of this, but we're all very quick. Well, I say all, I mean, that's a sweeping statement, but, you know, I think sometimes it's easy to criticise and, you know, it's not quite so easy to step back and kind of think, well, actually, you know, how would I find that process? Or, you know, how would I get on uploading videos? You know, what would I be doing? And, you know, sometimes we'd like to think we'd do things differently or better, or, you know, we'd be slicker and more efficient and, you know, better company and all the rest of it. But actually, you know, factor in kind of other realities, like, you know, like I said, like maybe running, you know, running an Etsy shop, running a family, running everything else. And actually maybe, you know, maybe you wouldn't do such a good job as you think. And to be honest, you know, just possibly a kind word from somebody rather than kind of, not hostility, but, you know, criticism, harsh criticism would perhaps, you know, really go a long way to kind of like boosting your confidence, your, you know, I don't know, your mood generally. You know, I just think in the world, we seem to have, you know, sometimes I feel it's very easy to criticise, and actually it's shocking how much you can boost somebody's mood and cheer somebody up by just, you know, not doing that and kind of leaving a kind word rather than, you know, a harshly critical word. I'm so sorry. I now feel awful that I've now discussed all of this on camera, and I really probably shouldn't have done. But, you know, I did want to say thank you to obviously all the people who had, you know, kind of like supported my channel. And, you know, so many people obviously do understand the time restraints and all the rest of it. and all that does go into making a channel, running a household, running a family, and all the rest of it, because so many of you did, you know, comment sort of in my defense. So I just, yeah, I wanted to say how much I appreciated that. And obviously I just felt very aware that I was then fussy cutting on camera again, and I just thought, oh, I'd best explain myself, because obviously having had that criticism last week, it felt very soon to be doing the same thing again. And I'm now even drinking tea on here and slurping it. So, you know, if that person is watching, I'm sure they're feeling even more irritated, to be honest, again. And yeah, anyway, I mean, really kind of the moral of this is just, you know, I really hope that, you know, that person did decide to stick with my channel and maybe kind of decides to just, I don't know, be a bit more kind of forgiving and think, oh, do you know what? It's okay. They're just crafting after all, and, you know, they're doing this stuff for free. I mean, obviously there is a little bit of incentive from YouTube, you know, for putting up videos, but I mean, it's certainly not, you know, it's not an amount that you could live on or anything like that. So, you know, when you think that people are, you know, giving up their time for very little money, you know, videos take a long time, then it's kind of like, well, that's not probably necessary, is it, to, you know, to criticise harshly, you know. Not saying for no reason, because obviously that person felt there was a reason, but, you know, to criticise, you know, harshly when, you know, effectively people are doing this more for the love of it, really, you know, than obviously any kind of monetary gain or anything like that. And, you know, like we said, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos, there's hundreds of channels, and to be honest, you know, there's no need to get bogged down in saying anything at all negative, because if you're not enjoying it, there are so many others that you could easily go on to, you know, to enjoy instead. So I think that's probably the message there, and it's just got completely lost in my translation, so I do apologise for that. Right, I'm now thinking swap this to here, loving it on there. So yeah, don't you love this little bit of trim? And again, I've got some of those trims which I am hoping to put in my shop. Now when I say in my shop, I'm meaning on my website rather than my Etsy shop, because again, I really would like to try and move away a bit from Etsy, because the fees have just become so extortionate, to be honest, that, you know, it's actually just, yeah, they're taking, I mean, literally kind of like a third of what you earn, which, I mean, that's a huge amount, isn't it? So, you know, and again, yeah, all these things, you know, I mean, obviously there's a huge kind of cost of living issue at the moment, and, you know, it's all very difficult when then, you know, your platform fees are kind of like a third of what you're actually taking. So yeah, I mean, obviously I am very grateful to Etsy, because obviously, you know, that was kind of like, without Etsy I wouldn't have even had a shop, you know. But like all these things, sometimes they get sort of, I'm not sure which side is right, to be honest. They get kind of a little bit greedy, don't they? And, you know, it ends up that they're practically making more than you are, because although they're taking only a third, you know, so I'm getting 2/3. I mean, in fairness, I'm obviously the person doing all the work. So, you know, from that perspective, it's kind of like, well, hang on a minute, you're taking a huge amount now, given that you're really just hosting the platform, you know. So, yeah, anyway. But I've gone off at another tangent. My goodness, this is just turning into the moaniest video ever. I'm so sorry about this. Don't know what's happening, why I'm moaning so much today. I'm going to stop it now. Right, let's talk about the clusters instead, because maybe I will be on safer ground then. So I'm going to put a little bow on that one, I think. It looks really pretty with a bow, doesn't it? So anyway, thank you so much to everybody who has bought one of the Perfect Pocket Packs. I really do appreciate your support. I hope you're all really enjoying working with them. You know, I'm not making it up when I say that I've had an amazingly fun time working with them, and I really hope that you guys feel the same. You know, like I said, I'm not making it up or exaggerating. I have had a brilliant time, you know, working with them, and I just feel like they are such a you know, versatile kit, you know, that there's like endless possibilities with them. So yeah, I really hope that if you've bought one that you are feeling the same way. So yeah, right, okay, let's put this down. And obviously this will now probably lead to a video where we use these clusters on some pieces, you know, some pockets and things, I don't know, but that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? I love this one with this butterfly and just the label and just that bit of lace. I mean, how gorgeous does that look? And then, you know, maybe we will put some bling on there or something. Let's just have a look. Little sort of strip of three strands of the bling, not strands, three diamonds, you know, on the bling. There we go. Okay. There we go. Oh my goodness, I love that one. That's so pretty. Okay, so that's those two. Right, let's do, oh, should we do this one? Because this one's a bit of a sort of, you know, eclectic mix of stuff, isn't it? So I'm feeling this one's a brave, you know, brave selection of stuff. So let's have a look and see. I mean, I might even change my mind. I might think, oh, this is a bit too kind of like eclectic, but you know, I do quite like it. So there are these little red flowers, which she's got a red hat on, so I'm thinking we could possibly incorporate that. Oh, do you know what, I'm actually thinking, I wonder if we prefer it on this background instead of the green. Right, let me just take this one down for a minute. Right, so for this flower, oh my goodness, glasses time, I'm thinking maybe chop off these leaves at that end, just so as we make it a different shape flower. Okay. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Right, okay. Right, made a terrible job of cutting that flower. It barely resembles a flower anymore. But it looks okay. I mean, I say in one breath, oh, it barely resembles a flower. Oh, but it looks okay. Contradicting myself straight away. So, do we like it better on the kind of plain, not plain, but, you know, neutrally background? I don't know now. It probably is better on the neutral background. What do we think? Right, let me just tear this out. Oh, it's back to being really cold again today. Yeah, it was, well, yesterday was much more cheerful, and I think it kind of went up to 12 degrees or something in the middle of the day, actually. So yeah, miles better than it has been. And then today I went to the gym, and lo and behold, it was back to 1.5 degrees. I don't know what it is now, but yeah, when I went to the gym, it was back to 1.5. So, you know, back to like freezing temperatures. I don't know what's going on. I mean, at first I kept thinking, oh, well, you know, it's still quite early, but actually we're like the middle of March now, aren't we? So, I mean, I think it should be probably warming up a bit now, but it does not appear to be. Well, I mean, I say it doesn't appear to be. It kind of does, and then every so often it just deteriorates again. So it kind of like improves for a few days or a couple of days, maybe not even a couple, maybe just one, and then it just disintegrates or, you know, deteriorates again. So yeah, it's a bit rubbish, really. I hope this is not a sign of how the summer's going to be, because that would be disappointing, to say the least. Right, let's pop that on there. So I'm just going to, yeah, use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and then I'm just going to go in here and just kind of like pop that down there so it's attached nicely. That's really pretty, isn't it? Yeah, love that. Okay, right. Should we do this one? Because I love how this one looks, I must say. Okay. Now, what lace would we like for this? Do we want the pink? Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Or do we want this kind of beigey colour? I mean, I was assuming this one, but actually, now thinking maybe the pink is nicer. Let's put that there for a minute. Let me just cut a little bit of this pink off. I mean, again, I'm just using this lace because it just happens to be the lace that's kind of laying around on the desk. But yeah, it does look pretty, doesn't it? Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's gorgeous. So let's just staple that. Hopefully I've managed to clamp everything in there. So, all right. Like that. Okay. That's a beautiful cluster, isn't it? Yep, okay, let's put that to one side. Right, next one. So let's do this one because I love how this one's coming together, I must say. So, yeah, like that. Now, which piece of lace do we want for this? I think probably this. Let me just snip that down a bit because it's pretty long. So if we have this here, like that, I think. Oops. And I'll just kind of hold it together with the staple at the side, like that. And then I'm just going to kind of glue this down here, which will hopefully hold everything in place like that. Okay. And then again, I think actually might have a little bit of bling just in the centre of the butterfly. Okay. Like that. Oops, sorry, I've got hot glue threads everywhere now. Oops, even like hanging off of me now. Okay. There we go. Oh my goodness, I love how that one looks. I must say, you know, they're one of those things that actually every time you do one, you kind of think, oh, I love how that one looks. Oh, I love how that one looks. And yeah, actually, I mean, I pretty much love how most of them have looked. Oh, I love that, actually. I was going to have it with the thingy, you know, the, oh, what's it called? The black. But actually, I love it like this. And to be honest, I might even have it with that gold frame. That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Now, let's just see whether we could have, yeah, the flower or butterfly or this one. I mean, that's quite a large rose on there. It's kind of swamping it a bit, but it's always good to try. Oops, we could have a shoe. I know that's very random and weird on there, but you know, no reason why we couldn't. Yeah, I think like that. Now, do we want some lace on here as well? In which, oh my goodness. In which case, what lace do we want? So again, just using the lace that I've got kind of here on the desk. You know, I'm just trying not to have to muck about putting things in. How about like that? It's quite nice, isn't it? So I'm just going to staple that together. And what I'm thinking is, so I'm just going to glue this down like that. Oops. Let's get rid of any lumpy bits of glue that are coming out. And then just, yeah, glue that down there. And what I'm thinking, because obviously this has got the, you know, the square frame, we could probably tear around there. You know, if you didn't want that square frame, we could probably, yeah, tear this down I'm not making a brilliant job, but I mean, it's looking a bit like mouse bites on, yeah, mouse bites, but aside from that, I mean, obviously we've lost a lot of that gold now, to be honest, so perhaps that was a bit of a mistake, but I mean, you can still see it. It's just, you know, much smaller. Yeah, perhaps I should have torn the bottom rather than the top, but anyway, it's fine. It will be fine. Right, okay, so let's pull the cup in. Love the cup. Now, do we want the cup on this black? I'm just going to try it on this, you know, the black with the lilac. Just in case I prefer that. I think I quite like that. Now, just going to see whether I've got anything else that I could use as a background, like to layer it with. So, I have got this. Oops. And just maybe, I mean, this might not really look quite right, but we'll just try it and just see. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, quite love that. Now, do we like it on that green is the question. I mean, I do quite like it on there. Let me just try it quickly on the blue. I mean, the funny thing is, it probably goes better, doesn't it, on the blue? Because there is some blue in the cup. But sometimes it's boring to go with the obvious, isn't it? So sometimes it's more fun to go with, you know, the not obvious. Although sometimes, to be honest, you can go with the not obvious and actually all that happens is you end up with a piece then that you'll never actually use because you're not happy with it. So perhaps, yeah, perhaps I should just go with that. Now, I've not even put any lace on this. So this is a laceless piece at the moment. Okay. Yeah, and I'm just, you know, doing that really quickly just to hold it together because otherwise it's just held with that one staple, so like that. Right, okay, now I've mucked it up a bit, haven't I, because I've obviously used the blue that I was going to put this man with, so I'm going to have a bit of a rethink now because I've got these bits. Obviously I have got more bits, but I was trying to avoid so much fussy cutting. So let's just see what bits I've got that, you know, would be easiest to cut out. So I've got this lady. Yeah, shall we take her down? Now, do I want to cut her out or tear her? Let's cut her down like this. Okay. Have you noticed I've barely done any inking? I don't know whether I've done any inking actually other than that one rose. Yeah, not intentionally, but yeah, I might ink her because I feel like she could do with a bit of an ink. Like that. Yeah, okay. Quite like her on the green, which is quite nice, isn't she? Again, just kind of going with that mixing up the kits, you know, concept that we've been kind of mixing up the kits. So putting her on the green. She comes from, oh gosh, I think it's Perfect Pocket Pack 2, I think, which is lots of the purples and things. So yeah, this is a very different look for her, obviously, you know, putting her on the green, but I quite like it. So, right, let me just make sure I've got that green kind of like, yeah, prefer it like that, I think. So, yeah, liking that. And then we could even have maybe butterfly on there. Oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Love that. So, yeah, just staple that. And I've not put lace on this one either. So I'm suddenly going laceless. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, I don't know why, but it's just spookily happening that they're all just turning out laceless now. Don't know why. But yes, I'm quite liking her like that now. Let's just check, because we could brighten her up just with a couple of these little bits of trim. So let's just take that down there. I mean, obviously it would depend, you know, what pocket she's going to go on, you know, whether that would look sort of appropriate on this. But I mean, I quite like it, to be honest, and it's just adding a little bit of colour on there, isn't it? I quite liked it at the top, funnily enough. So yeah, perhaps we'll have it up there. Just a nice way to add a bit of colour, isn't it? If you've, you know, got something that's a little bit, not two-dimensional, but two-coloured, you know, then it's quite a nice way to add a little bit of colour. Is just put some sort of, you know, coloured trim or something on. So, like in that lace, added after, obviously, as you can see, but just then attach that with a little bit of hot glue, like that. Okay, loving how that looks. Really, really, really pretty. Okay, yeah, really like that. Now, do we want to have a bit of bling in that butterfly? I mean, I do always love a bit of bling, so yeah, just going to take this down. Oh, I've got this, and I did another video where I talked about this. You know, like if you cut your bling down and you get these weird strands on either side. Looks like a centipede then. Which, you know, I said in that video, I mean, centipede on vintage things, not really the look we're going for. Yeah, oh my goodness. Barely easy to cut that off. So yeah, I think we'll just put a little bit of bling in there, and it just kind of finishes that off, doesn't it? Okay. Oh my goodness, how lovely does that look? Let's just get that tiny bit of glue off there. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, right, what's the time? Oh my goodness. Might have to call it quits there, to be honest. So, yes, we might have to call it quits. We have used up quite a lot of those little bits and pieces, though. You know, as you can see, I'm just left with these left now, and these few bits here still on these sheets. Oh, I did have that one that I was going to use as another piece for mounting, you know, another sort of base for a cluster. But anyway, so yes, we've got these bits remaining. So yeah, not too bad, I think. You know, we have made a lot of things from these kits. You know, we've made all those different pockets and things. We've made the window pockets, you know, all sorts of different pockets. And now we've made all those lovely clusters as well. So let's just quickly pull in the clusters that we made. So hold on 2 moments. Right. This one, gorgeous. This one here with the teacup, which now I'm thinking, oh, perhaps we just add a bit of lace underneath like we did with that other one. Because that just, you know, it's the finishing touch, isn't it, really, to add the lace. So might just quickly ink this one up a little bit. Okay, like that. And then we'll just add the lace just at the bottom there. Oh my goodness, how pretty is that? Doesn't that look gorgeous? So that one. Okay, I shall put these around the desk as we do them. We've got this gorgeous one here, which, you know, I did muck up a little bit with my overzealous cutting, but I still like it. Just going to have a look. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to just cut off a little bit of this trim so as I can just try this trim on them as I'm doing them. Oh my goodness, that does not belong on that one, does it? It's got no place there. Quite pretty on there, but again, it would depend what it's going with. We've got this one, which I loved anyway, so yeah, just kind of ink them as we go. That is gorgeous. So I mean, again, you could kind of brighten that up if you felt like, it needed it by just adding a bit of the rose trim. I'm going to kind of try and keep that neutral at the moment, because I don't know where I would use that in a journal, but definitely love it with this, I have to say. You know, it's a very nice addition. Okay, we've got this gorgeous one here. Okay, loving this one. Isn't this so pretty? I think this is going to look quite different once it's inked up, I have to say. Yeah, it's looking quite different. Just going to try this with the flower trim. Maybe not. Well, I don't know, actually. It looks quite pretty over there. Again, you know, I'm going to leave it off, but it would depend, you know, what you're putting that on. If you're putting that on a pocket with any pink, or that you could incorporate any pink, that would actually look, you know, pretty good on there, I think. So, yeah, it's a sort of potential addition. So this one here, love this, full stop. It's just yummy. And then we've got this one. So I'm just going to quickly ink this one up as well. I think it's always surprising the difference it makes when things are inked. Isn't that just lovely? So yeah, that's them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clusters there. So we did quite a lot, didn't we, to be honest? You know, with those few little leftover bits. And like I said, we've still got quite a lot left over. So yeah, I hope that you like them. We may come back and do something with them. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, hope that you like them. And thank you so much for watching. Obviously, if you did want the Perfect Pocket Packs, they're available in my shop. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.